So I think we might as well jump right into what exactly went on over on Floatplane. It's been an extremely long, actually, couple weeks. So the first thing that happened in order to make this April Fool's shoot work was because we accidentally double booked it with my vacation, I actually had to fly home from Japan. Do you know this?
I didn't know that was why.
I had to come back a week early because we accidentally scheduled our vacation during the April Fool's shoot, which couldn't be moved because you would think, oh, well, surely we could have just gotten ready and done the shoot a little bit earlier. But I don't know, maybe we'll have David kind of talk about why that might not have been feasible.
Well, some people were speculating online that the house was, in between tenants, but no, there's people living there currently. And so we had to send them on vacation for 2 weeks so that we could have access to the house for 2 weeks.
And move all their stuff out.
Oh my gosh, yes.
When I heard that, it took me a second to properly process what that meant.
Yeah, well, the thing is
hold on, sorry, where did you even put it? Where did
we paid for storage.
Okay.
Yeah, so the idea was, all right, we're going to move into the office, but the tenants there are very much in the middle of their lease. This isn't like we can get easy access to it. It's full of their stuff. So I got to say, if I was them and my landlord called me up and was like, hey, so here's the deal. I want to move all your stuff out of your house for 2 weeks. I'm going to send you somewhere. And then when you come back, it's all going to be moved back in, probably in the same... Would you do it?
I think so.
Would you take the deal?
Free vacation.
Let's say, let's say it was...
if there's some amount of assurance for hey, if we break this thing, we'll replace it.
I mean, I can tell you they have nothing in writing.
I think it would really depend on the landlord, but maybe, yeah.
David, would you do it? Your landlord right now, would you do it?
100%. Yeah, I would take a free vacation. You could go
vacation.
today.
Yeah. Okay, what about you, Dan?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, okay, really? Okay.
We're all doing it.
So apparently this is just a completely normal thing.
It's definitely not normal.
I would definitely be hesitant.
Any of us are normal?
Yeah, no, not normal.
I can think of a lot of people that would never do this.
That's fair.
But I'm just thinking, okay, if I take a couple small valuables and store them at my parents' place, which I could do in half an hour, then yeah, whatever, just send it.
So I think
see ya.
I think one of the biggest challenges with this, though, was that David and I approached it with very different creative visions from the start. So David, why don't you talk them through what could have been, and we'll let the audience kind of ruminate on it themselves. Because honestly, the issue was not that his idea was bad, in my opinion. I think it was great. It just wasn't what I had in the back of my mind for the last 2 or 3 years, or whenever I originally came up with this idea. And I was like, can we change this? Anyway, so David, you want to talk them through what you had thought of?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that first meeting we had was pretty contentious. It got pretty heated. My idea was more mockumentary style. So we're kind of doing it more skits, room by room, department by department, and separating it more so that I could move people in and out of the house a little easier. And we could, have something set up for them, but it doesn't have to actually be super real.
Mr. Consider It over here. Meanwhile, I'm like, let's just move the company in.
Yeah, and it was going to be definitely more absurd. One of the first jokes that I wrote, and I think it was the point at which we were diverting, was oh yeah, we don't have enough power, so we handed out typewriters for people to work on. And it was going to be kind of more silly and absurd in that direction. But Linus convinced me. We argued, and then after a weekend of me cooling down, I was convinced that he was right, and that having it be a real thing is something that you can't fake. And so we decided that we were going to really move people and set them up in this house and set up this real network infrastructure and bring real computers, real monitors, and have it that every single person at that house could do real work. And I'm pretty sure that every single person that was in that video, other than Labs is probably the one.
Yeah.
They were really doing their job in that house.
Yeah. So that was what David told everybody was, in order to make it feel lived in, bring Other like logistics will bring in the monitors, which were graciously provided by ViewSonic and Landfest. Yeah. So the monitors were brought in from a third party, but everyone was told, okay, other than the basic, like we'll have buckets for you to sit on, gather up kind of everything you can carry such that you could do a day's worth of work.
Yeah.
And so that's why it really felt lived in and worked in, because the editors were actually editing real videos.
Yeah.
If you watch the video, because the turnaround for the April Fool's video was really fast. If you screen peek, you will see videos that are not out yet being worked on by the people sitting in the house.
One of the more insane meetings I've probably ever had was talking to David, because I got this like message or something, I don't remember what it was, saying basically like, yeah, we need some like servers and cables. And I was like, oh, okay, we're just gonna like take some dead servers off the shelf, we'll just lay them there, and we'll just like toss some cables around so it looks like there's cables in the thing. And he's like, yes, we need like a working NAS so the editors can like be productive while we're there. And I'm just like, what is happening? What? Like, how is this necessary for, anyway.
So the part that David left out of the story from the pitch meeting was that we reached a point where I felt like we were at a bit of an impasse. And one of my favorite conflict resolution strategies is to bring in a third party, to get a third opinion. In this case, it was less of a third opinion, and it was more of, I feel like David was being so sensible and practical about everything. He was trying to make sure
you brought in like the most, because when he does this, it's great. He'll always bring in a loaded person who he knows is going to agree with his side.
Didn't.
So who did you pick?
No, I didn't. I didn't even.
No problem.
I didn't. Oh, fine, Dave. Not David. Fine, Luke. Who do you think I brought in then?
I don't know.
Well, make a guess, because you're not going to get it.
Elijah.
No. Come on, come at me, bro.
I don't know.
Come at me.
Yvonne.
No.
Where was this meeting?
No. It took place in my office.
Building?
It was in my office.
Okay.
Yeah. He's not going to get it. He has no chance.
Okay, you might not remember, but there was actually 2 people brought into this meeting.
Oh, I forgot about
third
one of
and
them.
Fourth party.
Okay. Oh. You're right. Oh, okay. So first, okay, fine. Go ahead. You get one more guess. You haven't gotten either of them yet.
James.
Okay. Yeah. James was the first one.
The second you said 2 people, I was like, well.
Okay, I forget what he said though. David, what did James say?
He was on your side almost right away, and that's when I knew. I was like, okay, maybe my brilliance is not true.
Okay. I forgot about that, but it wasn't. I mean, realistically, I don't feel like you were digging in that much based on the difference in creative opinion. Mm-hmm. It felt like a lot of it was just like, everyone's gonna hate me for doing this. And so
that's a fair thing to be concerned about.
So the party I called in, and where I think I actually got David to come around to it, was I called Taryn.
Okay.
Yeah, so I called him and I basically went, okay, here's the pitch.
I actually think I would have eventually got that. But.
As long as we make it clear to everyone that we understand that their deadlines are going to be pushed.
Yeah.
And that their productivity
as long as
is
it's not going to stress people out.
And as long as I had Taryn's buy-in on the opportunity cost. Mm-hmm. Because, like, dude, David, I don't even know what the bill was for this.
I don't know exactly either.
Does anybody know?
We should find out.
I'm sure one of the accountants do. I don't know if you want to find out.
Yeah.
There's like no way it was worth it.
But so I don't even know
if you're listening on a podcast format, I did air quotes.
What the actual production bill was for this, but it was probably, if not certainly, the highest cost production we have ever done, and that even ignores the opportunity cost.
Oh yeah.
Because it's one thing to hire a bunch of talent to come in and produce a thing. It's a whole other thing to shut down I would say, David, how many people ultimately volunteered? Like, what percentage of the company did we actually have in there?
I think total, it was probably around 55-ish people.
Okay, so that's over half. That's like... Because out of the locals, that's almost 70% of the actual local staff then, like 60-something%. That is absolutely wild. So
was anyone voluntold? Or was it all?
It was all voluntel. Because I first met with the managers and I was like, hey, can you pick people? And I mean, I don't know department by department how it went. But I basically was like, hey, just pick your people and then we'll go from there.
Everyone I've talked to about it was stoked on it. So like,
Oh, well, you haven't talked to all the same people as me.
fun.
No, everyone was such a good sport about it. And like, I think there was such a great energy being at the house. Everyone was having a good time. And it's rare that we get to do stuff like that all together. And it's even rare that we get to do that stuff with that many people for production. And so I think it was kind of a real treat, and everyone sort of cherished the days we were there.
I think for the people who weren't part of that, the vibe for me was a lot like old Channel Super Fun. When we would just like grab people out of their desks and be like, okay, we need to shoot a Channel Super Fun. Guess what? You're getting, shot with Nerf darts. It's going to be a battle. Your team basement, we're team attic. Let's go. It really had that sort of chaotic vibe, but I've got to give credit to David, to the logistics team. I've got to give credit to our partners. It was shockingly organized. We booked 2 days for the shoot, and I don't think we went over 1.5.
Oh, not even. We were like maybe 9 hours of shooting.
Absolutely wild.
Actually super good.
Yeah.
Very difficult to do with any form of production.
Yeah, and the number of moving parts there were in that mess. This was David. This was David being an absolute fucking mad lad. I didn't intend, I thought of it as we got to the point in the script, but David was already way ahead of me. The idea of actually shooting tech linked there.
Oh yeah.
On the janky green screen. That's not me.
The thing I was going to say before we started, and you stopped me because you're like, say it for the show, was that the interwoven storylines was crazy and like easily my favorite part. You've got WAN show seeding interest. You've got the tech linked seeding interest. You've got the prank at the end. Everyone's like, what is this?
That's a Float Plane exclusive, by the way.
Into a Float Plane exclusive. Like this one video, it's just like morphed into so many different content pieces.
There's so much.
Sick.
There's so many layers to it.
Yeah, there's a short circuit that was shot in the hot tub.
Yeah, by the two Jakes.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that, but totally. Yeah, I knew about that. That's, so many different things.
Oh, I freaking love it. Porto asks, this is in the Float Plane chat, did you guys had to talk with the neighbors? So I did see one of our old neighbors. You remember our neighbor on the one side who we had, I felt like a pretty cordial relationship with until, I think she's a bit of a vegetation enthusiast. And we had an arrangement, me and Luke, where his rent was significantly subsidized by his upkeep of the property.
Yeah, totally.
Upkeep of the property that he just didn't do.
They kept the internet going.
Yeah. The state of our lawn was the straw, and that's what it looked like. It looked like straw. The straw that broke the camel's back and was what made the neighbors ultimately come and complain to the city and get us kicked out.
See, I don't believe in short lawns because it's not good for the environment. It's not good for the insects, which are good for the whole ecological system.
How do you explain the parts of it that were so short they were dirt? So anyway,
you want to make space for new plants to grow.
So I saw that neighbor over the fence, and I was in the middle of a take or something, but she just I
don't want to have anything to do with it.
Yeah, she didn't say hi or anything. So I'm like, all right, yeah, I guess you didn't miss us.
Yeah.
That's okay. I mean, we were only in there for probably about 80 hours. Like a little over 3 days.
Did you ever tell her that I was supposed to upkeep the property?
I don't think so.
Interesting. Because she was really good friends with me the whole time.
All right.
I helped her with something in her house one time. I helped her move things in and out all the time. We were good.
I thought we were good too until it was actually her daughter that came to the door and gave me a hard time about it.
Interesting.
So I'm not 100% convinced actually that she ever had a problem.
Because she might have just not recognized you, to be honest.
Yeah, that's possible.
It's been a long time, and if she had no primer that you were supposed to be there, why would she think it was actually...
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true.
The thing I was most worried about with the neighbors was there was 6 or 7 days where we had moving trucks, and it's a compact street, and there's no parking spots, so we would just double park this moving truck from different companies because there was different people that were involved. And people were really nice, which I was grateful for, but I could tell by the 6th or 7th day of a moving truck, neighbors were starting to get curious about what was going on.
Yeah.
Nothing. They'll go and they'll check and there'll be nothing. Everything's gone. Everything's clean.
The perfect crime.
Man, and some of the stuff we did was just could have caused an immediate call to the city. Like that shot we have of all the cars in the back alley.
I totally forgot about that. How did you do that? How was that okay?
We lucked out so hard. David wasn't even coordinating it. He was in one of the cars, and I wasn't thinking about this at all. I was like, hey, it was Andrew shooting at that point, I think, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I was like, hey, Andrew, you know what? And people were kind of like pulling in from both sides. I was like, Andrew, maybe get like a pan shot. I didn't mean immediately. I just meant maybe get like a pan shot of all the cars because we wanted it to feel like the whole alley was packed. And it did, didn't it?
Yeah.
In the shot. So he just starts doing it immediately. And it just happened that everyone like stopped
Kinda
right as he like
clicked
finished
in
it.
right at the right time.
Yeah, I was like, David, I don't think we need to do another take. Everyone, get out of here.
It was so lucky too because I was really getting frustrated. I was like, I need 5 people in cars. I need 6 people in cars. I need cars right now, and no one was moving. And I was like, oh goodness gracious! And then eventually we got like 4 people that were there. But then all the labs people rolled up just as we were doing it, and so all of a sudden we have like 8 or 9 cars packed in there, and it was perfect.
Whose car had been
Crazy
keyed recently?
shot. Colin.
Colin. So we were able to get that key shot.
Okay, the amount of convincing that happened for the video too. I don't know if we want to even say who it was, but a certain news organization reached out asking for comment.
Okay,
That's
this is
wild.
This is really funny.
That's crazy.
Okay, this is funny. Hold on a second. I'm not gonna say who it's from, but I will say that this is a serious.
And then if I while you look that up, if I remember correctly, there's a whole thread on the forum about how everyone was mind blown that you guys keyed a car for the video.
Yep. There was a few people that were like, "Oh, you can see if you look frame by frame that it's pre-keyed."
It did get pointed out, but a lot of people were convinced.
Andrew he worked the camera, we worked the angle.
So good.
Okay, so this is the email sent to me and our CEO.
Yeah.
Hey guys, sorry to be shooting you a work email on Easter Sunday. Saw this super odd post on Threads from your account and wanted to reach out to confirm whether it's real or a joke. I've attached a screenshot. And it's that one that's like, guess who's moving? You! Notice of eviction. Dear something of Linus Media Group, we regret to inform you due to your continued failure to make mortgage payments, blah, 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 blah. It was just part of this. It was part of the whole April Fool's bit.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I recognize the meme.
Yeah, I love that. You know what? No, I think this might identify the outlet. So I'm not going to. Yeah.
I think my favorite fake out was there was a brand that reached out and was like, "Oh, can we get your new address? We need to send some stuff to you." And it was like,
No, I didn't hear that.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Cool that they still wanted to support.
Yeah. I mean, even though we had our accountants looking up how to commit tax fraud or whatever. And I outright said that, sponsors weren't going to get stuff back.
They're like, we've been paid before.
Yeah, sure. It should be fine. He's good for it.
They'll figure it
He
out.
couldn't go to the same country as P. Diddy. It's true. I don't have a private plane.
Yeah.
Only.
Yeah. Just a vision room.
Yeah, exactly.
You like raising up into the thing that I broke at that moment.
You know what's really funny is I screwed up the take. I had my eyes closed. I couldn't see shit.
Oh my god, that's really funny.
I was like, hey, David, I think we got to redo that take because I had my eyes closed.
It was so good.
And then we're like, you know what? No, that's actually
kind of funny.
Yeah, it's kind of funnier.
Yeah.
Oh man, the behind the scenes is over an hour, and even though I was there for almost all of it, almost all of the actual shooting of the behind the scenes, I wasn't there for a lot of the setup because I was on vacation. I come in jet lagged as heck, kind of with a little bit of trepidation. No offense. No offense.
Understandably.
Little bit of trepidation. This is a major investment, one that we have absolutely no hope whatsoever of recouping any of our costs from. Straight up tax write-off.
I was
Straight up tax
beat
write-off.
me to it.
We lost so much money on this production.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All the money. And so I'm coming into this shoot going, okay, we had a good script review. I think everything's probably in pretty good shape. I think it's in capable hands, but you never know.
Well, it's my first big project.
And it was enormous.
Yes. Yes. So there's so many moving pieces and so much that could go wrong. And I walked in the door, and I had not intended for it to be in the cut of the YouTube video when I walk in the door and I just lose it, right? Because the intention was for me to be more like in my just like, asshole character, right? But when I saw the rough cut for review and I saw that they had left it in, I went, you know what? It kind of works. But that was it. I hadn't seen it yet. That was the moment I walked in the door. I was like, okay, because I saw the editors there.
Dude, the 4-person desks with it, that's so funny. Like I can't.
That's all David, the bunk desk.
That was so funny. And like how it's actually efficient, sort of. And like,
Yeah, you can fit a lot of
brain's
people.
Like, hold on a second, this kind of works.
Yeah.
And you're like, why does this work in my head? This shouldn't work at all. Why am I sort of okay with this, but also not? And then watching people like, I think you had to like crawl over someone to get, oh my goodness. It's just so good. No. It's so good.
I want to clarify, that one wasn't my idea. And it's one of those things that it's like, I had so many meetings and like brainstorm sessions that it's such a mishmash of a million ideas. So I don't want to take credit for too much, but I'll take credit for some of it.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely a team effort.
100%.
Was it Justin who put together the like bunk desks and like?
So early on, I recruited logistics in order to make things possible. And I'm someone that doesn't like to ask for help. I just want to do it myself. I'll put in the legwork.
This was too much.
But it was impossible.
Yeah.
So this was a great exercise for me because I had to communicate with people and be like, okay, I need help. And so they were really good about finding smart solutions. Like I remember going to Justin and being like, okay, I need this bunk desk for socials to sit in. He's like, just use the shelf. And I was like, oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, oh, smart.
That was really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the same with the desks. I had given him a drawing of like, oh, here's kind of like what I had in mind. And then logistics, I think Alex was like, can we just put a desk on top of another desk? I was like, yeah, okay, sure, fine.
The Informed Retreat asks, the only thing I'm trying to figure out is, does Gary actually like ARC at all? Obviously, he's holding Intel stock, but Linus, can you comment? Don't read too much into a joke. There is, knowing Gary, do you guys have any idea what his background is? The guy's ethical. There's no way he's holding Intel stock and boosting ARC. What Gary is an enthusiast for is exciting, innovative new technology. That's why the guy buys dumb stuff like Quad FX. That's why he buys into and daily drives stuff like ARC, so that he was there. If it takes off, he was there before it took off. He's an early adopter to a fault, right?
His personal computer is like super sick.
Yeah, of course it is.
It's not necessary.
Yeah, it's Gary. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
fits the bill.
He likes the idea of there being another competitor in the GPU space, and so should you.
And to be clear, when I say his personal computer is super sick, I don't mean he just like bought expensive parts and put it in a box. It's like very artfully done and took some craftsmanship. If I remember correctly, it's hardline water cooled. It's very nice. It's been a long time since I've seen it, but it's very nice.
Yeah. Man, there's so much that we could talk about. Oh man, there's a lot of jokes that did not make it into the YouTube video, or because the script was kind of rough. Like there's scripted parts, but then there's parts of the script that just say crawl around on the people in this area and interact with them a little bit, right? And so, man, we had did the line about the clothes being red because of the blood of the underpaid people who were making them, did that make it into the cut?
The blood making the shirt red did make it in, but
it did. Okay.
I think it was Sarah's blood though.
Oh,
no, that's a separate thing.
That's Sarah's tears.
Or Sarah's blood is on the merch shirt. And we're like, why is there blood on this shirt? Oh, because I put blood, sweat, and tears.
Okay, got it. Anyway, there's some stuff that definitely didn't make it in. The energy was
It was great.
was incredible.
Yeah.
Just you could tell people it's the kind of thing that feels like a chore in the moment or like as you're getting ready for it, but then you do it and then it's over and you look back at it and you're like, I'm glad I participated in that.
Type 2 fun.
The
best kind of fun.
I couldn't believe the commitment to the bit. When I got out to the backyard, found out that the hot tub heater doesn't work, and Jake Bellavance...
Wait, it actually didn't?
It works, but it takes like 24 hours plus of heating, and I couldn't leave it overnight because I'm not watching it. And so every hour the day before and every hour that morning, I got there like 3 hours early to put it in to give it a chance, but it made no difference. It was freezing cold.
It was freaking cold.
And it was actively raining, wasn't it?
And the fact that Jake Bellavance... and Jake Tivey were like, Bell was in there a long time. Because he was in there from when we shot the LTT, when we shot that portion of it.
I didn't realize they were separate. That makes sense.
Until Jake Tivey arrived and got in with them. And then shot that entire short circuit video.
Oh, man.
I couldn't believe it. Like the poor editors, like they were there almost all day on their buckets.
Oh, they weren't sitting on buckets. They were sitting on the ground.
Oh, right.
Their desk was made of buckets.
Their desk was made of buckets. Yeah,
good.
I got a pretty good idea of what the vibe was going to be like when David messaged the general chat and he goes, "Hey, does anyone have any camping chairs or 5-gallon buckets? I need as many as I can get."
It wasn't the whip and pillory that tipped you off?
I didn't see that. Fun fact, that riding crop that Dennis is using to hit Gary with during the torture scene,
yeah,
we already had that?
Yeah, Creative Warehouse. That's some upcoming merch. Our new lineup.
Oh my.
It was actually an inspiration piece for the ultimate cat teaser. Yeah, because I had told those guys I wanted the quality to be kind of similar to like a leather wrapped riding crop. However, that one is clearly for play. I had meant more like an actual riding crop.
You know the like type of people when you ask for that and they don't go to like Stampede. They go to a slightly different organization to acquire one.
Yeah.
It's like,
Anywho.
Because we have like literally down the road.
Yeah.
There's a shop you could buy an actual one for horses.
I know.
Like, yeah.
I know.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. Now that it's over, are you ready for the next one?
Oh, I thought we weren't doing another one. We're never doing April Fools again.
That is true.
April Fools!
So did you was it worth it?
It was definitely worth it. And I had a good time doing it. I was very exhausted. I'm still like kind of recovering, but I go on vacation next week, so
nice.
It's perfect timing.
That's
nice.
Good timing.
But yeah, it was a thrill. This is kind of the kind of projects I want to do. So I was very happy to be doing it.
All right, cool. All right, thanks, David.
Bye.
Appreciate
Thank
you
you.
sticking around with us for a pretty late day for
Bye,
one.
chat.
Oh, wait, no, sorry, hold on.
One more.
I can't let you go just yet.
Speaking of you being tired.
Okay, there's we have some merch. I forgot we had some merch messages
yes.
pertaining to this. Robert L asks, this year's April Fool's video was probably top 3 for me. How far out do you start planning, writing, and shooting the April Fool's videos?
Well, we started next year's. So that gives you an indication. I was brought in to this one a few months ago, and there'd already been the idea, and I was kind of given like, hey, write a script or come up with ideas and we'll talk to Linus and stuff. So it's been probably 3-ish months that has really been sort of in progress. And then the last 3 weeks here for me have been 100% dedicated to this. Maybe like 90%. I have other stuff to do, but so it's 3 months of planning kind of going, and then 3-4 weeks of like full tilt making it happen.
I'm trying to see here when we asked the tenants if they were chill with it. November 20th.
Wow.
Was when we pivoted, because we had originally planned something else and we realized that it was not going to be possible to execute in time.
I think I was still a shooter at that point.
Yeah. So that was our initial outreach. Oh no, that wasn't even initial outreach. That was like Yvonne connecting everyone to talk about it in more detail.
Wait, what did Ludwig just do?
What did Ludwig just do?
Oh no.
Oh no.
We have a curse.
Ludwig video released during WAN show. Whoa. What is this?
What did he do?
What is this about? Is this something to Ludwig video just dropped? Okay, hold on. Whoa. Why is everyone talking about this?
I don't see it.
No.
Stop doing this. Emergency stream? Is that it? That's live right now.
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
They're confused. Float plane notification. You mean our Ludwig video?
Oh.
Oh, the Ludwig video is out. Oh, okay. Well, that's probably bad timing. Anywho, well, let's continue with WAN show.
All right. Yeah.
Floaters have got a lot of content to watch. Okay, sorry. Let me just see if there's a couple of other.
I love you guys calling them floaters is.
Aaron asks, the April Fool's joke seemed like a lot of work. What was the most difficult stunt to pull off?
I think it's the people. I think there's some departments that were like super on board, and there's some that I had to make it just so many accommodations for. And I had to make a lot of my work was making sure that they could arrive at the house and start working, because they were more concerned with making sure that they weren't losing productivity. And so,
because some deadlines are they're not self-imposed.
Yeah.
They're not management imposed. They're like government imposed. So I'm sure accounting had some concerns about like hitting deadlines.
well, they weren't too bad. I don't want to name the department. I'm not. I don't want to do that.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But I think
No.
but I think it's getting the people there is the hardest part. There's no like single prop that was super hard. It's just like timing the people, having it all work out. And I think like we got so lucky that everything was lining up, and there was no huge issues.
Oh, and it was like spitting rain sometimes, but it didn't rain too much.
Yeah.
And the times we really needed to be outside and walking around, it let up, and like there was a lot that went right. It kind of reminded me of some of those old like ad production shoots way back in the day for like ASUS and Funk and stuff like that, where like
Oh yeah, I'm
if
sure
it had started, if the wind had picked up like this 20 minutes earlier, we wouldn't have gotten the shoot
screwed,
done.
yeah,
And
yeah.
if the water seal had broken on the camera, 5 minutes earlier, we wouldn't have finished getting the shoot. And like just, it reminded me of the old days in more ways than one. All right, let me see if there's any other ones here.
The old days, as far as I can tell, we have fairly diligently, after the fact, labeled all of the April Fool's video with April Fool's joke at the beginning of the title. So if you want to look up our old videos, it's actually pretty easy to do. I wanted to look at our 2013 one and found that a lot of them are labeled. April Fool's 2016, April Fool's joke.
Well, Luke, do you know why?
No.
Because we had to. Because too many people believed them.
Oh.
It was actually causing problems. And before you guys say, hey, oh yes, oh yeah, we'll do that right away. Before you guys say, they're probably trolls, Linus, you're falling for the... No, you have no idea. I can tell the difference. After we labeled it April Fool's, this should tell you, after we labeled it April Fool's, the problem went away.
Yeah.
But a significant number of our previous April Fools have needed the label sooner rather than later, or it's been a real problem.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, I don't really know what to say other than I think George Carlin who famously said, "Think of an average person. Half of people are dumber than that."
I still love the Fractal Design R4 unboxing April Fools. It's just like I adore this type of humor. Was it your idea to just leave it there for 11 minutes?
Yeah, because back then, here we'll go to Luke's laptop.
Videos, right?
No, back then that was the typical length of our videos, and there was no preview like that. There was no thumbnail preview, or timeline preview. That's the one. So the video is just 10 minutes of it just sitting in the yard. So this was, I think, the third time I had unboxed this case.
Yeah.
The first time I unboxed it again. So the second time I unboxed it was because I forgot.
Yes.
I legitimately
pretty funny.
made an entire new unboxing about the Define R4, not realizing I had already done it.
You know, you've unboxed too many things, Win.
Yeah.
And then, you drop it.
Yeah.
I just find this so funny.
I don't even know what I'm saying. I watched
Me
the
neither.
server room on fire one. That one was not funny. Yeah, because my kids asked if we had ever done a prank on our staff for April Fools, and that one, if I recall correctly, you guys didn't know, but like figured it out, I guess, pretty quickly.
Why was the reactions like really bad?
Yeah, it just like isn't funny, and the fire pole one is not very good. But I'd say the rest of them.
The fire pole meme lived for far too long.
Luke, the fire pole meme is still alive. Still alive. David, can you tell us when was the last sighting of the fire pole?
It's in the April Fool's video.
Okay, people kept saying this. I didn't see it.
It's
I
very
will show
short.
you.
By
I'll
the
show
way,
you.
if you were watching that video, there's 11 more minutes of nothing other than that case just sitting in the grass. It's amazing.
That's my type of April Fool's.
Yeah, I love that kind of stuff.
So hold on, I got ads.
What is this ad?
Okay, so here's a video. Look, we've got David just floating here. I love
Hello.
it. Look at
Yeah.
David.
He looks like a suggested video.
I get
I'd click on it.
Click on me. Click on me, please.
I get credit for this one. Go Linus. But going out my executive exit. Oh wait, no, that's not the one.
It's a little bit further.
Hold on. Wait for it. Where did I go? Oh yeah, here we go. Going out my executive exit. Okay, this is David. The executive exit, just like out the window, so I don't have to see everyone. I
you
totally
rip
ripped that.
Oh.
Did you see it? You see it?
I didn't like put together it was supposed to be the fire pole. I thought it was just like a drain pipe or something.
So I go out and
That's really funny, actually.
dude, this video is worth watching at minimum 5 times.
I didn't really think about watching it again, but I feel like I have to.
There
now.
are, especially for someone who actually worked out of this office, it is so full of inside jokes and references to the old days and random weird little Easter eggs and props. I don't think that if you gave me 6 months to do it on my own, right? Like, this is not something that could have been done in one
It
mind.
needs many minds.
I couldn't have come up with this many references, and I worked there the whole time.
Yeah.
It's absolutely brilliant. People are like, whoa, I missed that.
Someone said, why didn't you watch on a float plane? Which is a pretty good question.
That is a good question. The reason is because I didn't have another float plane window. Oh no, I did have another float plane window open. Okay, I usually don't have the second float plane window open, and then I always
If
screw
you
up.
redirect the live...
And I go somewhere else, it takes away my chat.
chat closes,
There's a solution to that. There's a very easy solution to that, but I just am in the habit of not browsing float plane because I
do the same
I always
thing
do it and then it
sometimes.
closes my chat.
Yeah. I just wanted to razz you.
Yeah. Oh man. So yeah, float plane. If you are not subscribed on float plane, now is the time to do it. There's a couple of reasons for that. One is that pricing is actually going up in a little while.
I've heard about this.
But because of our commitment to honoring our agreements, anyone who subscribes at old pricing will be grandfathered in at that pricing.
That's cool.
and
Because I
it-
haven't confirmed we can do that yet. So we'll figure it out.
No, they have to be.
Okay.
Yeah, it has to be. It has to, this is the way.
Sick.
Yep. Anyway, so thanks.
Yeah.
Linus-led development.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it'll be fine. We already have a grandfathering system. I just don't know about extending it to multiple tiers. But
All right.
we'll figure it out.
So we'll make it work. And the other reason is that it is full of amazing content right now. They did Spring Break on Float Plane, which involved a whole bunch of exclusives. So we've got Labs Hide and Seek. We've got extras from the bidet shoot with Ludwig. We've got Tanner revisiting Black Lab computers. He went back for a 6-month update to see what it looks like now. There was the departmental paper airplane battle.
Which I totally won. Don't bother checking.
Extras from the world's biggest gaming screen, and of course, the hour-and-a-half long behind the scenes that the reviews are in and people are loving.
It's good.
It has an infinity like-dislike ratio.
I was pretty upset at you in the video because you keep being like, the behind the scenes is going to be better than video. And I was like, screw you. The video's going to be great. But you're right. The behind the scenes is better.
Well, it's not. I didn't mean that in like an insulting way.
I
just meant there was so much depth to everything that was going on that there was absolutely no possible way that it could be absorbed in a YouTube video length. There was no possible way. So the behind the scenes has all this additional context and all this additional interaction. You get to see, just everyone kind of goofing around. Like the energy on the shoot was so positive.
It's so long that I haven't had time to watch it, but I have literally marked out time to watch it tomorrow. I'm genuinely quite excited.
I think the best review of it that I saw was someone saying I clicked it without checking the timestamp and then didn't check how long I'd been watching, and I was an hour and 15 minutes into it.
That's a good review.
That's a good review.
That's extreme. They watched a movie.
Yeah, so kudos to the social team for putting that together. And of course, the editing team helps by kind of earmarking bits that don't make the cut, but they do go into the behind the scenes. And I got to give credit to Sammy for just being an absolute unit, because while, Andrew did awesome, getting the real video shot, the YouTube video shot, when Andrew could turn off his camera and take a break, Sammy had to keep rolling. Anyway, now's a really good time to get subscribed over on Floatplane. We've got a ton of really great content over there, and of course the entire back catalog as well. All right, I think that was it for merch messages that were explicitly directed at David. Okay, now that we started acknowledging them, a couple more of them came in. Okay, no. I think you're good. I think you're good, David.
Yeah.
I think that.
I wanted to ask chat question, because I haven't seen very many comments. One about my favorite joke in the entire video, which is the Mad Max joke, where 100 people enter, one person gets rich. And I'm very disappointed no one has commented about that, because I think that's a brilliant joke.
Oh, I thought it was hilarious.
It's so funny.
Because it's one of those things I was a little worried about, because you know how Reddit can be. The fact that actors have to have it in their contract that they can't be mean as part of their character, because then fans might not like them anymore. They might think they're mean, that kind of thing. The fact that has to exist. George Carlin once did a bit about how, okay, whatever. We've talked about this already. But that was one of those lines that honestly, I read it. That's David's line. That's not my line. I read it and I went, can I trust the audience to be smart enough to know that this is a line? I am playing a character. And I wasn't sure, but I thought it was so funny, and I thought it was so worth it.
Yeah. That was one before it got to you, I was told, I don't think people will get that. You should cut it. And I was like, I will not. I will fight. It has to make it.
One of the things that I liked about that was, even if you didn't get it from a Mad Max reference, it's still funny.
Yeah.
It still works. Yeah. So, and it's just more funny if you get the reference.
The other thing I was wondering too, I wish we had a tracker, but we had that PS5 jailbreaking joke that has a link in the description, because we faked, the UI to make it look like we had a hacked PS5. And if you click the link, it's a Rickroll. And I really wish I could know how many people click that link with.
Oh, did we not use a tracked URL?
I didn't know that was a thing.
We have one.
Shit.
If you ever want something like that in the future, just let me know.
Okay.
Yeah, we have our own setup for sponsors.
Chat, some of you guys can let me know how many people clicked on it.
Clear Washer says I clicked that. Screw you.
That's all I wanted to know.
There's a lot of people saying they clicked it.
That's awesome. Hate and love you. Clicked it. I clicked it. Yeah. And Twitch chat. Yeah. Those guys are idiots. So I love you, Twitch. I love you, Twitch chat. I love you, Twitch chat. Watch ads. Colton turned the ads back on. That's why the ads are back on. So I remember I kept turning them off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Colton turned them on. He told me not to touch it anymore.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Fine, buddy.
So good.
All right.
Colton.
Thank you so much for hanging around late today, David.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Take care.
See ya. Bye.